All right. So, as you know, today I'm Ray Goodfellow, and I'm coming to you on Sundays. A little unique right here, but it's special because I have a special guest for you. This young lady is out of the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia area, and she has a unique vibe about herself. And I selected her, and I was hopeful to get this interview because I follow a little bit about her YouTube and her uniqueness that she brings to the camera whenever she puts the camera to her face. She also acts as well. So I'm going to invite this guest on, and I think you're going to be very entertained by her. So the stage is all yours.
Hello, I'm Alexandria Denise, and thank you for the intro. Yeah, so that's actually funny that you say that I'm a pretty unique individual because I've gotten
Yeah.
that like all my life. Even in high school, I won like most eccentric for senior superlative. So I don't know where that came from. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't even talk to anybody like that. But when we were getting selected for senior superlative, uh, my name was the first one on the board of all the classes, and I'm like, okay, all right, I accept the award. It's great, but it's great to be seen as different, I guess you could
Mhm,
say, because in a world where everybody is trying to do the same, and then when everybody's trying to do the same, it's like nobody's unique anymore. So,
mhm.
and honestly, for a minute, it was a little tough to, I guess you could say, embrace that to its fullest because you're like, I'm just being me, but I guess
All
that's
right.
what makes you unique. But yeah, I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and lived in Nashville, where I graduated from Tennessee State University for
Uh-oh.
4 years. So yeah, you're from the Nashville area, right? Yeah.
I am. I went to Alabama A&M, but I am from the Nashville area, so yes. So we
Yeah.
both went to HBCUs. I see that. Okay.
Yeah. Tennessee State.
All right, no problem. And shout out to all my people in Memphis too, West Memphis, Arkansas. Some of my people in South Memphis. I'm not sure what part of Memphis or Memphis area you're from, but I do have a couple of people that definitely follow me from the area. So
I'm from the burbs.
from the birds. Oh, okay, you're not from the trenches, so
I'm not
okay,
from the trenches that much.
okay,
Well, technically, it kind of is a borderline. So it's like South Haven, Memphis type thing, but we can kind of all group the same. But yeah,
the birds are the trenches. You can't. I mean, it's everywhere now, so it's all good though.
yeah, yeah, no
I mean,
escaping it. But I did go to Whitehaven High School, so
oh, okay. So yeah, okay. I know about Whitehaven. I also know about Horn Lake. I guess one of my cousins lives somewhere out that way. I can't think of the street name, but yeah. So I know a little bit about the Memphis area myself as well. Obviously, my niece is married to a young man from I think he's from South Memphis too. So
okay.
all
But
right.
yeah, after I left Nashville, I just went to Orlando, worked at Disney for about 3 years before I hopped up here to ATL to pursue film, which is what I'm currently doing. When I went to college for film, so speech communications and theater. So it feels great to be in my industry, be in the, around the peeps that I want to be around. Because I've
Okay.
had like so many other jobs, and I can tell you there is no other job I'd rather do than this. So yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
shout out to some of the union members. I'm part of IATSE 479, and
Okay.
hopefully can do a couple of other things as well. One day, SAG, be a part of
Okay.
them. So
You claim it. Call it. You claim it, and you can receive it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
yeah, I know. Speaking into existence, they say.
Hmm.
So
Oh, and I think what's her name? Nina Starks. Are you familiar with her?
Nina,
Yeah.
I'm
See,
not. No, it doesn't ring a bell.
you need to follow her. I'm gonna interview her coming soon. She's from Memphis too, and she's lives in Atlanta. She's a filmmaker.
Okay, yeah,
So I'll
mhm.
so I'll definitely send you her information. But since you're talking about filmmaking and acting, tell me a little bit about the ATL scene of being a actor and how is it down there?
I love it. Actually, I wish I could have come down here sooner. But I don't know. It was like I kind of wanted to venture a different path, but then I ended up here anyway. I tried
Okay.
to like, so it's like I didn't quite want to go out to LA when I left college. So that's why I went down to Orlando. But at the same time, I was kind of avoiding Atlanta. I really don't even know. I can't even recall the reason why I was avoiding Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But I still ended up here. So there goes, destiny, I guess. But I love it, honestly. Every time you run around, you kind of, well, now that the film industry is back up after the strike,
Mm-hmm.
that's a doozy. I mean, we've been hit with the 19, and I know you probably can't say
Hey,
some certain words. I don't know where you're gonna, I want
say
this
it.
flagged.
No, I'll say it. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, we got hit with that, and then I worked a little bit in the around the scenes, and then the strike, and it's been a interesting 3-4 years now.
Mm,
But yeah, it's getting back lively. But I'm also glad that I've had a couple of other things to fall back on. Go out, explore a little, do a couple of different gigs and jobs and so on. And yeah, hopefully it'll be back full swing next year.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't want to say too much because I'm not so much in that group, but I do know that my union that I'm a part of, as well as a couple of others, are going through negotiations next year. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully they get what they want, you know,
Okay, hopefully.
and we can continue forward. No more big breaks. But even if so, you really do have to have something else to, look forward to in this industry, whether you're
Right.
keeping yourself conditioned for acting or just branching out into something that's totally unrelated. I think that's a problem with some actors. We're afraid that we're going to miss out,
Mm.
that if they're not acting, they're failing somehow or something other. But no, go live your life, like, and come back and bring something new to the table.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm gonna say, speaking of your local acting, I want to say this. Shout out to my people at Bronze Lens. Shout out to Atlanta Film Festival. I actually had a film down there. I don't know if you knew that.
mm,
Um, and I was, back in 2016, and I kind of made an independent film. So I'll let you maybe look at a little bit of that as well. It was my first one I ever did, and I'd say, I'm not out of it. I'm just focused more on writing myself.
oh,
But
nice.
yeah, absolutely. I've gotten several different scripts and things like that. I'm kind of waiting for the right opportunity to publish. But the reason why I wanted to bring you on as well is I want to pitch to you. And I want to pitch you a character. I want you to see how you would basically take on this particular role.
Okay.
Okay. So I look at your sign back there. I think it's a poster, right?
Oh yeah, my Naruto. I don't know if you know, I'm anime geek, and I got a couple others plastered around here, but
I'll
yeah.
I was getting ready to definitely, you know, ask you about that. So if I have a character, it's a young lady, and I like the special superpower type of characters. And let's say this particular character has a memory, but the only time she's able to access the memory is when she's in close quarters, within 10 feet of the person. And she only focuses on a bad moment of that character,
Mm.
of that person that she's next to. How would you take on a role for that? Like, how would you get into character for something like that? I mean, I'm just pitching it to you. I just made it up, kind of. But if someone gave you a script, say, "Hey, I want you to be the superhero, and I want you to try to access the memory of somebody, and then utilize that and come out with your own emotions to portray that character," how would you get into character for something like that?
It's a couple of different ways, and I've trained a couple of different ways actually. I know there is a technique that I love doing. It's called Meisner.
Nice.
So basically, it's a repetition type um, technique versus Strasbourg, which is more of like memory recall. So really, I combine the two. Not exactly predominantly, I would say I lean more so in staying in the moment with Meisner. But as far as like Strasbourg, if it's something specific, I may do a sense memory type ordeal to where if I had that type of conflict with someone that brought up a bad memory, just take myself back. But see, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's a couple of different ways. I know that as far as with Meisner goes, it's all about tapping into the truth of the reality that's affecting you right now in the moment. And and if I were to do such a character, like if I'm next to somebody where I have to tap into a bad memory of a sort, then I could do that sense memory, or I can just find something about that person right then and there that I don't like. Maybe they're wearing
Okay.
a red shirt or something like that. And
Okay.
the color red makes me mad. Or I
Mm.
remember a time that, this color had a significant impact on how I felt in a moment that was negative. So it's a lot of different ways actors prepare for a role. Some actors like to do sense memory.
Mm.
So, how can I say method? That's method
Method.
acting. So where they
Okay.
actually have to do a task that put them into that character. Because I actually had this happen for a recent audition where the thing with sense memory or memory recall is that I don't feel the same way about what I'm trying to recall as I did once before, if that makes sense.
It does.
So it's like the way I felt about somebody or something way back when, and I'm thinking about it 15 more years later down the line, it's like maybe it'll do it, maybe it won't. It just depends on how strong that event in my life was. But
Okay.
now, for whatever is going on in my life right now, I can totally use something that I don't like or that's troubling me right now to bring up that emotion of that character. Um, so I actually had this in a recent audition where I had to use a truth that was present here to get me to, get emotional,
Okay.
even if it had nothing to do with the what was going on
Right.
in the work, in the plot or the script, and it was
Mm-hmm.
something totally different from you know from what was going on within me. But see, the
Right.
audience don't know that. The
Mm-hmm.
audience don't know. They just see, I don't know, whatever the emotion that you're bringing out, and you're putting the plot and you're putting the words, everything there with that emotion, but they don't see what got you to that emotion. So that's just the back work a lot of actors do, and
Okay.
everybody is different.
Okay. Perfect. I like the details you gave in that. You know how you talk about getting into character, the method of it, because I talked to some other people who've acted before and they struggle with trying to tap into those things.
Mm,
And I said to myself, I think my idea is you have to make it so believable with the audience, but it has to be more believed in yourself. So you have to really
exactly.
tap into that character to be able to display that emotion on stage or on the silver screen. And I like how you said it because I know you're speaking from experience. You're like, and once you was a rookie, and he's like, okay, I had to figure out a way to get there. And then I felt like when you explained it, you told us how you got there and the ways to get there if you're struggling. So you really broke it down in best way I can ever, imagine. I thank you for that.
Yeah, welcome. Yes.
Well, let me ask you another thing too. Now, this is about someone that's actually inspired you. So you see them on screen, and they're getting into their character. They're getting into their mode, like in the zone or wherever you want to call it. Give me a person that you see when you watch on TV or film that you can share with us on. a great example of how to really get to that character that they need to get to.
Um, are you asking a specific actor that I favor, that their work that I really? Oh, on the male side, Johnny Depp, hands down. Like honestly, what inspired me to be an actor was when after I saw the first Pirates of the technically it was around the time that the second Pirates of the Caribbean was
Okay.
coming out. So I think that was like 2007,
Hmm.
6, 7, somewhere around there. But I didn't know that there was a Pirates of the Caribbean one. So I went to
Hmm.
GameStop one day, and you know how they had the little bin and everything, and they yeah. So whole story there. I just picked up the CD and took it home, watched it, and the rest is history. Like I was after seeing Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time, I was like, that's it. I got to be an actor because it's something
Okay.
that I brought up with my folks some years ago, way before. This had to have been like when I was little. I wanted to be an actor, but didn't really know how. Actually, I started modeling before acting, and
Okay.
but yeah, I'm going off topic there. But yeah, Johnny
No.
Depp, hands down. Uh, I was like, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I
Okay.
didn't know at the time because you know I'm coming of age, young, and I saw Sleepy Hollow, and I was like, oh, that's Johnny Depp still. I didn't know he did that. I watched
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie like 10 times over, and Sleepy Hollow is like my favorite legend as well. So when it comes to horror movies, um, but yeah, so on the male side, Johnny Depp, and female side is kind of a close running. But as of right now, I'd say Zoe Saldana. She has a kick-ass career right now. So
Oh,
she's definitely
Miss Columbiana, is that right? She played that
yeah,
character. Yeah, I like
yeah.
her. Yeah. I
She's
re-
like killing it. And what's so crazy, she was in the first parts of the Caribbean. I think
Mhm.
when she said she was like 20 something years old or whatnot.
Mhm.
And now you look at her now and her career is just like, and I was like, man, that is such a blessing. I really would love to be in her shoes. So,
Mhm.
but obviously that takes a lot of hard work. So
Mhm.
I'm up for
Okay.
it.
I like the answer. I didn't think you would go there, but Johnny Depp, wasn't he like in I might be on the wrong person, but wasn't he like in Friday the 13th when he was like a little kid? Is he the same guy or is there somebody else I'm thinking of?
I don't know all of his movies, but
Yeah.
I do have a couple of favorite ones.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about that one.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask you something else, and you might have a hard time answering this. Who's overrated as an actor?
Oh. Uh,
I got mine. I got mine,
uh,
and you
who
may
is
not like this. You may
mm,
not like it.
you go first.
Oh, you want me to go? Okay.
You go first.
I don't know why. I'll probably get some flack for this. I don't know why she just doesn't have. I feel like she's boosted up so much because of maybe her mom, her lineage. But Tracy Ellis Ross, I
Tracy
just
Ellis.
have not. You know who that is?
It rings a bell. I've heard the name before.
Blackish,
Blackish.
that
No,
show.
I haven't seen that show. So I've heard the name definitely, but
Mhm.
I
But
that's one thing too. It's and you're gonna see this as kind of a oxymoron because it's like I'm an actor, but I don't have time to watch a lot of TV and film because I
mm,
spend so much time trying to be on it. So between the
okay.
training and all of everything, and yeah, it's a lot, you know,
Okay.
as well as me starting my own brand. I started my brand back in 2019.
Okay.
You may, and you'll probably bring that up further on in the interview, but you already know of True Nature, so we'll touch on that. But
Oh,
it's
I'm already there.
I've
I
got
got you.
I've got a lot on my plate right now, but yeah, I rarely have time to keep up with a lot of industry news if it's not mainstream big. So I might hear about it through the grapevine, but not exactly like like I'm
Well,
looking for this stuff.
oh no, it's all good. She was on Girlfriends. I don't know if you remember that show.
Hmm. With the four ladies. Oh yes, I remember her now. You
Yeah.
don't like her? Oh wow. Oh well. I
I
mean,
got a
okay.
off the camera. I got a story to tell because I met her before.
Oh okay. Okay. So it's this.
I'll share that with you. I'll share that. It's all good, and I'm not saying she's not a good actor. It's just I feel like her plateau's higher than what it should be. That's how I feel. Not to say she's not. Not to say she. It just the vibe. I just haven't gathered it yet. It's just not there. For some reason, I like all actors pretty much, the ones that are good. But for her, anyway, let's move on. Let's get into what you just. I told you I'm going to catch some flack for it. I know it is.
No, I'm not giving you any type of flack for it. This is your opinion. It's your show. I mean, there are people that probably don't like me, and that's fine. Like one day I'm probably gonna be overrated, and people are like, what? Why? What's so special about her? So like everybody's gonna have that actor that they vibe with, or they're just
Mhm.
like, no, and it's not. It's like okay, that's fine. But I really didn't want to touch this question with a 10-foot pole because, but
Okay.
I think we can kind of agree. Yeah. I'm going to give you some hints, throw you a clue,
Okay.
but what's
Bring it
the
on.
hours between dusk and dawn? And
What's the hours between dusk and
what is
dawn?
that kind of called? And, maybe vampires and werewolves will come out. And you know, maybe the movie. It's not ringing a bell.
Do I know the actor? I should know the actor, right?
Well, just kind of, yeah, okay.
God,
It's
I should
cool.
know. I don't know.
Yeah. I was trying to give an impersonation, but I will
Are
leave it
you?
at that. So,
You are okay.
on.
Oh my God. Oh my
I
God. I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to know this, right? I'm supposed to. You got my mind like this.
I'm pretty sure when you lay down later tonight, it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're gonna be
I
like,
don't.
"That's what she was talking about."
I know it is. I know. We'll come. I'll. My mind's gonna keep thinking about that as we continue here. But yes, I don't like you for doing that. Now you got me stumped. Now I like you, but I don't like you.
I have that effect on people a
It's
lot.
all good. Oh no, it's. But I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna get back on you then. Okay, you gonna send me this video. You send me this link, and I was watching. I'm like, okay, I get it. She kind of introed herself and things like that. And I clicked on one of the videos, and I said, hold on a second. I've been hunting before. Is she really with the skin on the? Tell people what I'm trying. I'm trying not to tell. Tell people about what I saw. I was a little thrown off a little bit there.
Well, I don't know what video I sent you, but I thought I sent you the entire link to my channel.
You
But if
did.
you saw a video,
It
that's
was a
great.
video that you had some deer skin
Oh yeah.
with
So
the pressure. Mm,
that probably was my pressure washing video. That's actually one of my popular videos on my channel.
yeah.
And last I checked, what 10K views. So, which is
No.
crazy because I was
I,
like, huh?
no. I was saying it got my attention, so I liked it. I understand what was going on, but I never seen anybody take a pressure washer and do that.
Yeah, it's one
So
of the new age ways. So
so you're a hunter.
I hunt, I fish, I garden. I try to teach people how to be pretty much resourceful and self-sufficient. So there is I guess you could say it's a disconnect between the way we do things today and the way we used to do things. And some
Mhm.
people believe that we have to throw away the old and embrace the new. And while that might be true in some way, shape, or form, our present or our future, I could say, is definitely in our past. It's like if it worked to
Mm,
get us here, why change it? So
mm,
a lot of people today, they're very disconnected with their food and the resources that they have, and they don't know the time and the effort and everything that goes into um, just doing these things. So I really don't know. It's like it's something I always felt like I needed to do when it comes to this. It's like something that was just a part of me to be this naturalistic or wholesome, living off the land type person.
mhm.
So yeah, it's something that I want to kind of resurface within people,
Okay.
you know.
I, you
So
know, I, no, no, no. I don't judge nobody, but I was sitting there and I was thinking, so I'm a scout, so I'm sitting there like, I was taught how to be resourceful. Of course, my dad was, the military. So, but when I saw this and I saw you, I was like, no, she's special. If the lights go out tonight, she's not going to die. She will find her way. She's gonna have herself a knife. She's gonna make herself a fire. She's gonna give herself shelter. She's gonna protect herself. She can eat. She's not gonna starve. I was like, oh no, I literally gotta talk to her because this is something that's important because we all need to know how to be self-efficient. We have
yeah.
to be able to rely on our own instincts and our things that we can utilize if we get put into a situation where we don't want to be in to hopefully that doesn't ever happen in my lifetime, but it could.
Well, it already has. I think
Well,
the 19 was a wake up call for a lot of people, but what's so silly, it didn't stick around long enough for people to really change like in its entirety. Because right after it happened, people went back to the old way. I mean, people went back to the modern way. They didn't learn, some people didn't learn anything. Like they're
mm,
back in the same situation. So it did take some, but for other people, it was a life changer. It was like, man, you know what? If something like this happened again, how I'm going to take care of myself financially, how I'm going to take care of myself, like with the food. We've seen how our food system has failed us, and just so on, so on. Even now with inflation, people are like outraged that not only, of course, gas prices is going to be there, but the food prices is outrageous.
mm,
So it was kind of a goal for me to teach people, hey, you don't have to dive totally into these things. You can just
mm,
take whatever interests you in different parts, create a strategy for your life, and incorporate that into how you live every day. So um like I said, some people learned from that incident, which was a wake up call for some people, but then others, they just went back to the old way. They found out, some people found out they hate living with certain people, but yet they still living with them. Some people found out, man, I'm not
mm,
in the best financial situation, but yet they're still like going out there just spending the dollars. And then some people, like I said, they really took heed to it all and changed their life. So
okay.
I mean, it's just really up to how adaptable some people are. Um, but yeah, the goal of my channel pretty much is to teach people about being self-sufficient, resourceful through hunting, fishing, gardening. And we kind of have a negative light on hunting to a degree when it comes to certain people that in society that think of, oh no, you're killing animals and so on and whatever. Um, but hunting, when you actually do it, it's a very different feel than what you have been exposed to. So we
Mm,
don't go out there and just kill anything that we see. Hunters are actually very selective when it comes to the game that we take. And a lot of people, they are very trying to be tasteful here. They give a lot of flack to trophy hunting. meaning they're
Mm,
very against it. But
yeah.
trophy hunting is probably one of the most ethical hunting methods there is. Because, like I said, hunters are very selective. They got a specific animal that they're targeting, and they're gonna take that animal. But even if they take that animal, whether it's for the horns or whatever, or the antlers, guess how many other animals they let walk? So it's like,
Okay.
and you still get meat off of a trophy animal. So it's not like it's just all about the horns or the antlers or whatever it is that hunter is looking for that animal.
Okay.
Um, so there's a lot of misconception around hunting and fishing and, eating certain ways and so on and so forth. And hopefully I can get to the point at in my channel where I also talk about certain diets. So
Mm, okay.
a
Okay.
health perspective. So I got a lot of layers and things to, not just in a specific niche, but also layering my channel. And I am one of the newer channels that's out there. Even if I started it in 2019, it's been a slow progress because sometimes when you're starting something, you don't exactly know where you want it to end up. So you try a few things, you know, you try a couple of different things, and then one day it just clicks and be like, you know what? I got it. So I've been working diligently these past 2 years to
Hmm.
get some things underway. And I don't know if you can tell by the bags on my eyes, but it's been a lot
Yeah.
going on. So yeah, it's gonna get there.
Well, I want you to keep doing it. I'm definitely interested in you and the things that you have going on with this channel. I want to see more. I was shocked, but I was impressed. I was curious, but now I'm certain that you really good at what you do. And I just want to thank you for definitely giving me the opportunity to talk to you, but also sharing that as well. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, welcome. And like I say, filming it actually this actually goes hand in hand with wildlife documentaries, which I've been a fan of for a long time since I was a kid. And like when I was a kid, I don't know her name. I know it's David Attenborough now
Hmm.
that does a lot of the nature documentaries. He has an iconic voice. But there was a lady when I was growing up, and it was like this. I wouldn't say monotone, but she had this very interesting voice, and I would mimic it to try to talk about the animal's life and so on. And
Okay.
I was like, and so it was something that I've always been interested, and I still watch nature documentaries. Like, that's when if I'm not listening to horror stories or something other doing my own thing, I'm looking at nature documentaries. So yeah,
Okay.
um,
Hold on a second. You're not gonna run past that. Listening to horror stories.
oh yeah,
Really?
it's so crazy because I don't know. I like the horror stories. Like, I listen to certain things on YouTube. Like, they have these animations with it. It's so cool. And I was like, man, I want to do something like that. And they take stories from different people who've experienced different paranormal things,
Okay.
and they narrate it on their channel. And I was like, I am gonna do some hunting horror stories because I'm pretty sure some
Hey.
hunters have seen some things out there in the woods. I haven't yet, knock on wood. Is this even wood or what is this? Like, what's this
Uh,
made of? Whatever. But I am gonna knock on some wood. Uh,
okay. Okay.
but I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing to talk about. But yeah, and that's another thing. The majority of the stuff that I have done have been horror. I don't know exactly how I got thrown into that genre. Maybe it's because when I moved here to Georgia, the number one show that I wanted to be on, which I was certain that I was going to be on, and I trained my ass off to be on it, was The Walking Dead. Never got an audition, but I have known like several acting peeps to book the show. So congrats to them. I have auditioned for the casting directors for that show.
Hmm.
and so on. But I guess it's just whatever they needed, you know. And I lived like I actually still live like 45 minutes from where they shot it down in Sonoya.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, you know, I was reading all the signs. I was like, it's in the cards for me, but never happened. But still, I am grateful that I, you know, I'm around. It's just somewhere in there. You know, you're in the right spot. You know,
All right.
but
Okay.
I guess it's because of that. And you know, once you enter the industry in a certain way, that's kind of how some people are always going to see you, you know. And so I have to kind of be careful of that, branch off into other things when it comes to certain genres. Because I'm personally more of an action adventure type person. So I am training in stunts. I technically
Mm.
I've done a couple of things through my years to try to get there, but now it's like stunts. You know, I've taken martial arts and so on and whatever. Um, but now I have a lot more in my arsenal to really just push forward when it comes to being in those type genres. So
Okay.
hopefully it works out. But yeah,
No, okay. Perfect. Now I want to segue into this here. Did I see you behind the camera one time? Like, were you filming?
you've seen probably behind the camera many times. Like
Okay.
I do film. Actually, I do film a hunting show for one of my hunting buddies. He actually have a show on Pursuit Channel called Non-Typical Outdoorsman TV, and it's been airing for 4 seasons now. But yeah, I film a lot of stuff from him for him. So we just left the pheasant hunt up in Vermont like last month. That was
Oh.
pretty interesting. I've never been pheasant
Oh.
hunting, and I accidentally stepped on a pheasant. Don't ask me how I did it, but I was just walking. The grass was tall, and I came across something, and I was like, "What is that?" And I'm digging through the grass trying to figure it out, and I reached down to pick it up, and it's a whole ass bird. And I said, "Wow!" So I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, well, I'll put you back down and let you go do whatever." But hey, guys, it's over here. It got
But
away, but
pheasant hunting. I mean, I'm getting a lot more than I ever expected from you interviewing you. This is interesting, very interesting. So I want to ask you some stuff here, but I want to ask it to you. I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your head. You ready?
okay.
You sure?
Okay, first thing that comes to my head, and yeah,
Gun or bow?
Bo,
Movie or music?
movie. I think I'm like,
Eating?
why are you doing this?
No, no. You
I was trying
cool.
not
You cool.
to
No, you cool. Eating or drinking?
eating.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop. Just a pause there. Eating. Now, would you rather eat something that you hunt yourself or go to the store and make?
See, it's a little bit of both because I can't. I would rather eat it, like kill it myself. Um,
Mm.
like obviously that's of course going to be the answer, and I process my own meat, so I know what goes in it. Um,
Oh, true.
Oh yeah, I do the whole 9 yards from field to fork, kind. Like it's a whole process, and I have some videos on my channel about that. I'm gonna have to update a lot, but I do prefer to eat what I personally take. But I'm not totally against grocery store shopping, though it is kind of sad. It is the norm because a lot of people are very disconnected from their food source.
Mhm.
But I also understand that hunting isn't for everybody. Like, this isn't something to dictate people and be like, you got to do this or else. But it is there to give you an option. Just don't fight against it. But yeah, I do a little bit of both actually, because sometimes you have good seasons and sometimes you have bad seasons. And it's like
Okay.
this season, the past 2 seasons actually have been pretty good for me. My freezer's stocked full, so blessed on food there. And sometimes when it comes to gardening, I mean, I can't dictate. I can do what I can to care for the plants, but Mother Nature, it takes over. Sometimes we have a heat wave that comes through and kill it all. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like I don't know what's going on with our Brussels sprouts right now, but I planted those at least 2 months ago, and I know they're heavy nitrogen fixers, or not fixers, but feeders.
Okay.
So giving them nitrogen and cow manure, all that kind of stuff, and they're just stunted in growth. So it's a lot that goes into providing for yourself. So I can't totally knock mass food production, but I can say wherever you can minimize your, I guess you could say, intake, do it.
Okay.
It was very beneficial to me when I was growing my tomatoes. And I do like tomatoes from time to time. Like I like the pasta sauces and so on. But my
Hmm.
tomato production has been great this year. So I had I now have lettuce too. So it was great just going out to the backyard, and which actually I stay in a apartment. So, and that's another thing, small space living. It can be done. But it was nice going out there and just picking what you needed fresh right off the vine, and then going in and making something with it. Do a couple of that with my herbs as well. So I'm getting more so into growing those. Got some sage and basil. My time died. I don't know why, but I guess
Oh.
I smothered it with manure. But like I said, it's a learning process. And I'm not totally against the. How can I say? Our food production system is flawed. I
Hmm.
definitely will say. And a lot of the companies have gone amok with the things that they put in our food.
Hmm.
And I try to stay away from a lot of processed stuff. Like I cook, like I not only hunt, but I also cook a lot of my own meals fresh. I rarely eat out. I rarely eat fast food. But if I do, I'm pretty selective. Actually, I had to at some point when we went up there to the pheasant hunt. I had McDonald's for the first time in forever. Like, and when I say forever, I mean like since I was a itty bitty. And yeah, I was hungry the
Oh.
next few hours. I was kind of miserable. I was just trying to scavenge through Walmart, see what I could find and whatever. But and a tuna, give me some cat food or something. Like, but
Oh Lord.
yeah, but
I
yeah,
don't know. I just, I try to make my own food as much as I can. Sometimes being out on the road, you have to kind of either backpack it, brown sack, sandwich or
mm,
whatever, or you stuck with Wendy's and McDonald's and things like that. And I
yeah,
don't like being forced to eat like that. But if I have to, I have to. But I'm trying
yeah.
to be healthy.
And that, yeah, and you say on the road? Are you like a trucker or some sort?
Mm-mm. No, well, I used to drive. I used to do auto parts, driving auto parts to different places. I don't do it anymore. But
Mm,
at the time, for a while, that's what I did. So I wasn't a drive. I had a van or a truck and take auto parts to Knoxville, down in Georgia, Fort Oglethorpe. Have you heard of that?
wait, say that one more time.
Fort Oglethorpe,
No,
Georgia.
no, no.
Okay, so it's right outside of Chattanooga.
Okay,
There were some
I've
places
never
down
been
there.
there.
Yeah, so right when you cross over the state line, probably about 20 minutes, you will see that place there. Rome, Georgia.
Yeah, okay, I know where Rome is. Yeah, I've gone through
Yeah,
there a couple of times. I don't know
right.
if you know this, but I just left OTR Trucking for the I was dating for 11 months with a company I shall not name, but
Oh,
it was quite the experience. My daddy was an over the road truck driver, and I was like, well, I've done my mama's profession of being a substitute teacher, so let me give this a shot. And I did, and I carved out a life out there. And like you said, the truck stops full of just uh, food. I cooked up for 2 weeks. The only thing really that the company got right was putting me in a 23 Freightliner, which I love that truck. That was an amazing truck. Um, but it had a refrigerator in it, and whenever I come home, I cook up for 2 weeks, and then just when you're out there, you're working 14 hours on average a day, and it is exhausting to come in and cook something for yourself. And I understand why a lot of truckers like just grab whatever they can out of truck stops, and it's not good food. And I was like, look, I'll be damned if I'm out here overworked, underpaid, probably not really unprotected, but and I get overweight. I cannot do it. Like I
Right.
can't be out here unhealthy as well. So
Okay.
something got to go.
I learned a lot. You're one of the most interesting people I know. So let me rewind here. So you're actor. I'm gonna get into anime here in a second. Then you're self-efficient. You're a hunter. Um, and then you're also like a truck driver. Are you a spy? Are you?
I'm getting there.
Uh, all
I'm
right,
getting
hold on.
there.
All right, just talk to me. I'm gonna lean back. Just talk. I'm just interested. You just got a lot of stuff. You got this YouTube channel that really it shocked me that you was doing this, but I'm just really intrigued by all the things that you've done and accomplished in your life. So that's really good. Never thought this was coming, but obviously this is something that I was supposed to be exposed to, and I like it. So I'm definitely going to follow more of your content and things of that sort. But before we get more into rapid fire, I'm gonna ask you about anime. I'm gonna ask you a question. What's the difference between anime and cartoons?
You know what? That's a good question. And I thought about that for some time. But the difference between anime and cartoons, I mean, both have a moral or a message to it. But I look at cartoons as more of entertainment and anime as more of interchangement. Because
Mhm.
I don't know if people know this, but look, this is more than just a cartoon, to be honest. Like, this is a whole drama. It teaches you about life, and it got a lot of heart in it, and it's like animes are like their plots be so deep. And I think that people that look at anime as just cartoons, like just watch an episode of just anything that catches your eye. Just watch an episode. You probably are going to be blown away with just how deep it is. Because I think that's one thing that make people shy away from anime is because they think of it as just like a Ren and Stimpy, or which that was not meant to be a kid show, by the way. I don't know if you remember. I don't know your generation, but they think of it
I
as
do.
a goofy cartoon that just it's just there for entertainment. But you learn a lot from animes. Like I don't even know where to start. I think one of my favorite psychological thrillers is Death Note. I don't know if you
Mm.
know that one, but
I've heard that. Yes, I have.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, Japan, I see you. And of course, Naruto is very influential when it comes to like Dragon Ball Z was to us. Like Naruto actually came around the same time. When it comes to people that are interested in like martial arts and all of that. So it's a lot of heart in these stories. So even if it has a fantasy element to it, and some more, it's still all on a realistic standpoint, you know?
Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. You answered a lot of stuff that I didn't think I was going to get answers for. But again, thank you for that. But I do want to end this here when I want to finish up my rapid fire questions. So I got a few more for you.
Okay.
So if you got to get your eyes ready and all that,
Oh,
get ready.
wait, fire away. It's gonna put me
Okay.
in the fireman squad. Like,
Favorite food?
okay, you got me on that one. Now I
I
gotta
know
think.
I know mine right off, but I got you thinking, just like you got
Ah,
me thinking about that. Okay, which I still don't have an answer for yet. So
neither do I. We can pass that one. Favorite
okay,
food, man.
all right, let's go. Least favorite food.
Tofu.
Is that even food? What is that?
No, I don't think it is. That's why I say it's the least favorite because it shouldn't be a food to begin with. So,
Should not. No. Okay. Favorite place to vacation?
ooh, Florida.
Well, you lived in Orlando,
Yeah,
of
I
course, right?
did. Yeah. But it's so funny because when I was doing trucking, I recently went down, well, not recently, but I went down to Jacksonville, Florida for a couple of times and wow, I've been to Clearwater, Panama, like all over Florida, just except Miami. So one day I will. One day.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Swimming or hiking?
A little bit of both, but swimming. No, hiking, hiking.
Okay. You rather hike a mountain than swim a lake, right?
Actually, absolutely. I'd rather hike the mountain. Like
Okay.
water, I only have a certain threshold with water. Like, mm,
Okay.
yeah.
I got you. I'm the same way. Okay. So here's a couple more questions I have for you, and I want your opinion on this. The film industry, will it ever get back to the golden age or not?
I think it will. Honestly, I do because it's people that make the film industry happen. I know it's all this talk that AI technology is going to take over and so on, but who created AI technology? Who still have to manage it? And it's only a certain point where you're going to lose the heart and soul to a lot of these projects when you just have computers doing everything. Humans put out a certain emotion that computers will never emulate.
Hmm.
So I really do believe that it's still going to go strong. Um, like we ain't going nowhere. So yeah,
Okay.
Hollywood definitely will get back to that.
Okay. Last question here. This is the grand finale. A young lady, I'm gonna set the stage. A young lady sees your YouTube channel. Somehow she finds your phone number. She gives you a call and she's 14 years old and she says, "Hello, I interested in your channel and I want to improve my life, but I want to start today. What can you do? What can you tell me that will help me improve my life so I can be a great woman in this world today?" And this girl's 14. So
Well, honestly, she's
stage
already
is
taken
yours.
the first step, if that be the case. Like recognizing that like have she's trying to become something. So she's a lot of people they go forever without realizing they need to change until it's too late. So definitely, I really didn't have to do too much that she hasn't already. Seeking help is the first step to all of that. So she's already braver than most to realize that what, I want to do something better for myself or improve myself, do something better for my life. So it just depends on whatever it is that she's looking for. You Obviously, I'm not a guru. I don't know everything that there is to know, but I definitely try to help out where I can.
Okay, perfect. I like the answer because you never know. There's somebody that you can inspire one day, and you can help her in the greatest way possible. Is responding to her questions, and I thank you. Just like I thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate. I really learned so much about you, and feel like it's a whole bunch of. I feel like you're a spy. I feel like there's another little edge to you that we don't know, but maybe another day I can definitely find out more about you and different things that you have going on. But I got so much to catch up with you right now, so I appreciate you.
I don't know
But
if you know this, but I'm actually a
mhm,
ninja of the week. I just had to be a geek for once. Come on now, laugh. I just had to be a geek somewhere. Like, oh,
um,
you're on to me.
you're wrong for that. Oh God, it's so funny.
Uh,
But again, I thank you so much. Greatly appreciate all the information that I learned from you, the things that you have done. And I just want you to, before I do my outro, I want you to shout out your how people can get in touch with you on social media, and there you go.
Well, I can be reached. My acting page is Alexandria underscore Denise underscore official. So that's my acting page there for Instagram, actually. And as far as True Nature, you can actually go to YouTube. I had created a QR code for some of this
Okay.
because I realized that was a problem. A lot of people just weren't finding me. There's so many true natures out there. So I created a QR code for it. I don't know if you have a way to post it or whatnot, so people can just, if they're interested. Then I actually have a QR code for both my acting as well as True Nature. But if you're on YouTube, probably will be able to find it Alexandria True Nature,
Okay.
or you can just go to on Instagram. Some people have different platforms, like some people do Facebook but not Instagram. Some people do Instagram but not TikTok and so on, or some people do the whole 9 yards. But I get a lot of handles, just try to incorporate them into QR codes to make it easy. But True Nature, if you want to type that into YouTube, or you can just say Denise True Nature.
Okay.
Uh, Instagram is true.nature.ig. And for TikTok is true nature, one word, .ta. So
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Again, I want to thank you so much for sharing a lot of the stories and experiences that you have done today. I greatly appreciate that. And I want to make sure that people know about you, the things you got going on, and what you can offer them is a world experience. And I really do appreciate that so much.
you're
As I
welcome.
always, okay, no problem. But as I always say to my guests, I want to thank you all for your support. I want you to be able to get inspired by what I provide to you and also what you provide to me. I'm very grateful. And as I always say to you before I wrap, until I speak to you again, peace and live a good life, the best life that you can. Peace.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.